वेलकम फ्रेंड्स। अगर किसी देश की आर्थिक वृद्धि उसके अंदर की ताकत से होती है या बाहर से मिलने वाले झटकों से या अवसरों से, एंडोजेनस वर्सेस एक्सोजेनस ग्रोथ थ्योरी का यह फर्क जो है वो आरबीआई, यूजीसी नेट, यूपीएससी के सब परीक्षाओं में पूछा जाता है। इसलिए हर छात्र को पता होना चाहिए। अगर टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन देश के अंदर पर पैदा होते हैं तो ग्रोथ एंडोजेनस है। अगर ग्रोथ बाहर किसी बाहरी तकनीकी प्रगति से आती है तो ग्रोथ एक्सोजेनस है। आखिर कौन सी थ्योरी आज की डिजिटल व्यवस्था को बेहतर समझाती है? चलिए देखते हैं। endogenous and exogenous growth. To understand endogenous and exogenous growth, it helps to think just as they are not economic terms, but two completely different stories about why an economy gets bigger over time. So, exogenous growth, the gift from above. Growth happens because of outside forces, external shocks that we cannot fully control or explain with our economic models. And endogenous growth, that they are built from within. Growth happens because internal choices, investment in knowledge, people, and ideas that are directly caused by economic activity itself. So, exogenous growth is neoclassical model. The core idea of this growth is diminishing returns applied to capital. What are capital? Machines, factories. So if we keep adding more machines, eventually each new machine produces less and less extra output. Therefore, to achieve long-term per capita growth, we need an external factor that defies these diminishing returns. The factor is technological progress, but it falls from the sky like manna, manna from heaven. It is not explained by the model, it is just given. Exo means outside. Key rules are capital alone cannot drive permanent growth. This is the steady state. Only technology drives long-term growth. Technology is a public good, free and available to all countries. Poor countries will grow faster than rich countries because they can just adopt the rich countries' external technology. The classic example of this is, imagine a poor rural farming country in 1950, an external invention, the green revolution, high yield hybrid seeds, chemical fertilizers, is developed in a lab in Mexico and the US. That this technology is handed to the farmers. The farmers plant the new seeds. Output per acre jumps dramatically. Because this technology is external and free, country experiences a burst of rapid growth. However, once every farmer adopts new seeds, the growth slows down again because they are back to diminishing return on land and labor. To grow again, they need another external gift like the invention of tractors or GM crops. The model explains how much they grow from the gift, but it never explains why the gift was invented in the first place. Second is endogenous growth. This is the new growth theory. The core idea behind this is diminishing returns are not final word. Why? Because ideas are not like machines. If you build a factory, you cannot see it while you are using it. But if you have an idea like blueprint or software code, you can use it at the exact same time without stopping you. So ideas are non-rivalrous. Because of this, investing in human capital, that is education, research and development, and innovation actually increases the returns to capital. Growth is generated from within the system. Inside, endo means inside, by the choices of firms and workers. Investment in knowledge has spillover effects because it makes the factory more production level. Long-term growth is driven by deliberate internal actions, patents, education, spending, infrastructure, ideas. poor countries do not automatically converge with rich countries. If a poor country lacks internal institutions to create ideas, it will stay poor forever. So classic example is Silicon Valley from 1990 to today. So I think everyone has heard the name of Silicon Valley. A software engineer at Google creates a new machine learning algorithm. Google patents it and uses it to improve in search engine for internal profit. But here is the endogenous twist. The algorithm is published in a paper. A startup in Boston reads the paper, tweaks the algorithm, and uses it to build a self-driving car. A university professor uses it to sequence DNA faster. The original investment in research and development did not just improve Google, it spilled over and improved every other industry in the economy. Crucially, the more educated workers of Silicon Valley hires, the more new ideas they generate per worker, not less. There are no diminishing returns to human ingenuity. The government internally funds universities like Stanford, MIT, and grants patents, which explicitly creates this perpetual growth machine for within the economy. So, exogenous growth is like waking up and finding a pile of pre-chopped firewood on your porch. You didn't chop it. You don't know who left it. You throw it in the fire and get warm. But eventually the fire dies out. You must wait for another mysterious pile of wood to appear. The wood is the technology from outside. But endogenous growth is like using heat from your stove or power a machine that chops down trees and cuts woods automatically. The heat generates the energy and get more wood, which generates more heat, which lets you to build a better machine. The growth feeds itself indefinitely because you build system to invest its own output into future fuel. So the machine is innovation and human capital built from inside. So in exogenous growth model is given by Solow and Swan, and endogenous growth model is given by Romer. So engine of growth in exogenous growth model, Solow-Swan model are external factors, external technological shocks, and in Romer's model, it is internal investment in knowledge, research and development and innovation. In exogenous growth, Solow-Swan model, there is diminishing return to capital. That is why growth stalls without external help. But in endogenous growth model of Romer, no two ideas. Knowledge has increasing returns because it spills over. Then in government role consideration, exogenous growth model is in Solow-Swan model, it is minimal, just protect property rights so the external can be used. And in endogenous growth model, government role is crucial for fund education, protect patents, subsidize research and development to actively create growth. So that's all about the endogenous and exogenous growth model. If you like the conceptual topics of economics in simple words, then please like, share, and subscribe the video and channel. Okay, thank you.